All right, I got my feet on the desk, and I've got my Jamiroquai hat on. How many of you youngsters even know who Jamiroquai is? I guess, hey, Len, I guess that Jamiroquai is pretty happy right now. They're getting some actual press, huh?
Well, I mean, last week was a virtual insanity, so... Like, I mean, what else could we say?
That is true. That's definitely a good way to look at it. My name is Gary Muttley. He is the one and only
Len Carmichael, Landmine Studios.
We are the upgrade, and we're sitting here upgrading right now.
Dude, we downgraded last week.
I mean, last week was a definite downgrade.
Like, if last week was a downgrade, it was like when you're riding on the highway and it's like they got the truck pull off with the fucking dirt hill, like, and you hear the truck going up and you're like, nah, he's not even gonna stop. He's just going through the dirt out into the middle of nowhere. That's where we were last week.
Nah, you know how we were talking, I think it was with Andy, about you guys riding and there were like cliffs.
Yeah.
Like last week just went sailing off that cliff.
Just tires dancing in the air.
You knew it was going to be bad because I was saying on Facebook, yeah, let's see how bad this thing gets. And then, oh, shit, that's not quite how bad I thought it was going to be.
I'm not going to say it's mind-blowing because we talked about what could possibly happen.
Yeah.
It was just painful to watch the ill-preparedness and as well as we found out later, the police just basically rolling over like a dog, just waiting to get their belly pet by their friends wandering by because they clearly weren't fighting back.
I mean, they were opening the gates for people.
Yeah, opening gates, letting people through, just like whatever.
I mean, when Black Lives Matter comes through,
no.
Everybody's...
Don't say that. You're going to get protesters of the protesting. They're going to show up at my door. They're going to be like, yo, you talked about Black Lives Matter on the air. You're clearly a communist, Marxist, socialist, and they're coming for you.
Give me a fucking break. We'll get into all this and more because this is going to be a bonus. We're recording this on Monday night. Going to have it out Tuesday because
next Tuesday is the day, right?
I think it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Okay.
Yes, it's Wednesday because today is the 11th. So next Tuesday is today's Monday the 11th. So next Wednesday is the 20th.
So between now and next Wednesday, what holy hell bullshit are we going to witness? Because it's coming.
The saddest part is I kept joking around about it, and now aliens showing up would be like the best case scenario.
Yeah. But we're not.
It would be a dream if the aliens showed up because it would be so much better than the shit that is really gonna go down. But like if they showed up and we were just like, yo, just take me, dude, just take me. Fuck the leader. You don't want to fuck with the leader anyway. Just take me. I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta go.
Do they have oxygen where you are? Because that's all I need.
You know what? I don't even care if you have oxygen. We'll make it work. Anything is better than here right now.
Oh man.
Holy shit.
Well, we have a guest this week, our first timer, but he is a longtime listener of The Upgrade, and as well a longtime friend of mine. I think I met Tony in 1994 or maybe 95 over at Mercer County Community College, and we've maintained a friendship since then. And he goes to shows with me, and we grill everything. I mean, he is one of my brothers. So welcome to the show, Tony Corrado. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Len. I appreciate you. Nice to meet you, Gary.
Yeah, nice to finally have you on. We've interacted on some social media before, but
yeah, that's been the extent of it so far.
But now we can get some real bullshit on.
Yeah, this is exciting actually to be on your podcast.
I mean, it's an exciting time in the world, isn't it?
Oh, please and thank you. It's a little too much excitement for this boy right here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, aliens come take me, please.
That'd be a relief at this point. Yeah.
It's just do me a favor.
Yep.
I mean, so not to sidetrack our initial intent of this conversation, but what kind of aliens do you think are coming here? Are they friendly? Or are they not friendly?
That's a fair question.
Are they coming to fuck us or fuck us up?
Which I mean, those two options?
Can we really be fucked more than we are right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's what I mean, that's why I say it's a best case scenario, because the shit that's going on right now is just, like it's brain melting.
Yeah, this stuff that's happened is pretty bad, within the context of our lifetimes. But I gotta imagine alien overlords could definitely show Trump up.
Depends.
I mean, you're a fan of science fiction. You know what kind of bad guys there are out there.
That's true, but I mean, we haven't seen Trump's worst yet, so
maybe not, and that's a scary idea.
What if we have seen Trump's worst at this point? What if there is no further he can actually physically go, based on where he's been so far and the fact that people are actively pulling back that are in positions of power? So have we seen the absolute worst he can do? Was that his last stand?
I definitely don't think so.
What if it was?
I would be very surprised, and we would all be incredibly lucky. Incredibly lucky. I think we talked about this a little bit off the air earlier. I think what happened last week, in a lot of ways, was a best case scenario.
Because
only 5 people dead is a best case scenario, as fucked up as that sounds, because you had supposedly all these people going in there strapped, and only one shot was fired.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to shoot at your friends.
And you had all these guys carrying all kinds of. You had the guy with the zip ties. Supposedly there was one guy that had a handgun in each front pocket of his pants.
Why couldn't he shot his balls off?
I wish.
Discharge.
But you really had the best case scenario, as messed up as it is, because it's still terrible that people died. But it could have been so much worse, because all it would take, and it's just crazy because it showed just how easy it is. Because it really, I mean, you watch those videos, they're opening the gates, like they're just rolling out the welcome mat. Hey, how you doing? Like, I'm surprised they didn't hand out drinks at the door.
Well, it showed how easy it is if you got a friend in a place. Because if that was Black Lives Matter, or if that was pretty much any other minority type group, they would not have opened the gates that fast, and the guns would have been drawn. My thing is, this is a case of letting your friends run wild because they're your friends and you don't want to fuck up their fun. This was not a situation where they were actively, truly fighting back. A few of them didn't get the memo, and a couple people got killed. That's pretty much all it was.
There were definitely some officers in that footage that were throwing down some beatings. I mean,
well, I'm fine with that.
At spots, there were spots that were being pretty heavily defended.
But there weren't nearly enough.
Oh no,
that's the whole, and then the whole thing with the National Guard getting called in but not given the green light. Like, there's so much. I mean, it's very telling that the top 3 people at the Capitol Police all resigned, like, immediately. But as I was saying, talking about best case scenario, think about this. Those guys opened the gates and showed how easy it really was. But all it would take, and we've seen these before, all it would take is one guy who's one of these, like, militia types that's an ISIS sympathizer or something.
It doesn't even need to be an ISIS sympathizer. It could have been a Timothy McVeigh.
Oh, sure.
And that's actually the more likely.
Yeah, but all it takes is one guy rolling in with a bomb vest or some shit, something he cooked up from the anarchist cookbook or something, and think about what that would have turned into. Or the other scenario, which is that what if any of these guys actually got their hands on somebody, whether it was Nancy Pelosi or Mike Pence. And this is what pisses me off so much, because you see everybody's being a pussy about this thing now. Nobody wants to crack down on Trump or any of these other Republicans. But what would the reactions be like if CNN showed Mike Pence hanging from a fucking tree? Or what if they showed video footage and you saw Nancy Pelosi getting ripped apart like the fucking Walking Dead? Like, how different would these people react to this shit, instead of all this pussy stuff of nobody wants to impeach him, nobody wants to pull the 25th Amendment on him, all this stuff? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
but that's how it works, is that unless they really feel the brunt of what's going on,
right,
they're never going to take it as seriously as they should.
No, that's absolutely true, and that's why I've been saying I don't wish it on anyone, but I do kind of wish that it happened, because then maybe people would open their fucking eyes with this shit. Because, as you mentioned, Len, we've been talking, and Tony knows this because he's a listener and he's heard us talk about it a million times. We've been saying that shit like this is coming for months and months and months. Pretty much since we started this podcast, we said the shit is going to get out of control. We didn't get specific. We didn't say, these guys are going to rush the Capitol building, but
you knew something. You could feel that something was coming.
Right.
But,
and CNN even showed some shit today that I was laughing about. They showed footage of Republicans, not even Democrats, Republicans, talking about this months ago and years ago, talking about how this man is unhinged. Yeah. He doesn't stand for what we stand for, all this other stuff, and how we're going to end up in a situation, and on and on and on. And then all of them just fell right in line, licking the boots, sucking on Trump's ass. Like, we all knew that shit was going to go down like this.
So, Tony is one of the few people that I really confided my concerns 5 years ago. When Trump started to run, I was like, this is not going to be good. And we had like a pretty in-depth conversation. And he was more optimistic than I was at the time, but I was like, no, this is no good, and it will end very badly.
Yeah.
And, it hurts me that I was right, but motherfucker, I was right.
For sure. And I've been, consistently one of the more optimistic voices, I think, in your sounding board, maybe, of your, of talking about stuff like this. And yeah, I have to admit that as the dominoes fall, you've been calling them out well in advance, saying, I think it's going in this direction, and be careful, watch what I'm saying. And sure enough, I've been listening, politely providing different perspective, and then admitting, yep. When
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right. Like, I want to be wrong.
No, yeah. You're not a watch the world burn guy.
Yeah, same for me. We talk about it, and I joke around about the pat on the back and all that stuff, because we've been calling this stuff pretty consistently. Yeah. But I would love to be wrong about all this shit. Like, I don't want to see what we're seeing now is really just a complete dismantling of the entire American system.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're ever going to fully recover from it, because as has often been said in a lot of places, is this the end of something, or is it the beginning of something else? And I, once again, hope I'm wrong, but we got kind of a track record at this point. I think we're looking at the early stages of some real bad shit. And part of that, honestly, goes back to what I started to say before, that everybody's being a pussy about this thing. Nobody wants to come out on Trump. To me, the shit that's going on right now is next level, like we have never seen in this country. And there's no, like, all this talk about, oh, well, we don't want to pull the 25th Amendment on him, and we don't want to impeach him because it's time for the country to unite. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you talking about, unite? Where was all this unity talk when all this other shit was going on for the past 4 years, especially the past year?
Absolutely non-existent.
Number one. Number two, now we're gonna work out unity with white power people?
Fuck that.
Are you fucking high? Like, it's like, and I don't really dabble a little bit, but I don't pay attention as much when it comes to a lot of the heavy duty foreign politics shit. Like, I don't really get deep into Israel and all that stuff because that shit is kind of over my head. But I've said it before, like, when you come to these people that have a completely different culture than what we have, like, you're not just going to suddenly reason with them and they're going to be like, oh, okay. It doesn't work with some of these Middle East cultures where they're very different. And I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying it's so different from what we have here that, it's square peg, round hole. Like, why are we spending so much time on them? Because honestly, it's just a waste because we're just not going to get, like, we're on totally opposite sides, and why do we need to stick the square peg in the round hole? But it's the same thing with a lot of these white power guys. Like, we talked about it on here before with, like, the people at Walmart with the swastika masks and the guy on the train.
Just nobody says anything.
Yeah, the guy on the train with the swastika pendant on his chain. Like, you're not going to reason with these people. Ever. But all of a sudden now we've got this idea of, this is the only way we're going to unite the country. The way we're going to unite the country is we're going to smack these people back to their fucking holes where they belong.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Like, there's
unfortunately, it's the only way. You can't reason with this.
No, you're not going to reason with these people. And this whole idea of, like, oh, well, we shouldn't impeach Trump because of party unity and this and that. Like, if you motherfuckers aren't on board with getting rid of white supremacy, then what the fuck am I going to do with you?
Yeah.
And if you're in government and that has to be explained to you, then, like, we lost the fucking plot. It's lost. Like, there's no way, like, if you're in government and you're down with white power, like, what are we going to do with you?
You gotta go.
So one of the things that this really reminds me of, and, like, I do my own just reading on things. I've explained to many of my friends that I have a problem with reading books, but when it comes to articles, like news articles, magazines, or like things in like an encyclopedia back in the day, or now Wikipedia, etc., I can digest that because it's short pieces of information that I can actually, like, dig in and understand. So over probably the last 10 years, I've been reading up around the Tulsa riots, but especially the fact that in 1919, we had what was called the Red Summer, and there were 60 race-related riots. But really, it was just very similar to this time in that black people were attempting to get more, and white people were absolutely against it and fighting back. So now, it's not just that black people are fighting for it, but it's all minorities, and then the government is going along with it. So now they are fighting the government too.
Right.
That is a very, very concise way to put it. So,
like, if the listeners of this show have never read up on the Red Summer, go take a look just read the Wikipedia. It'll take you probably about 30 minutes to get through all the information. But there is 60 events between January 22nd, 1919 and December 27th 1919, where there were race riots in multiple cities, and some cities had multiple riots over that certain like amount of time. Like Philadelphia and Derby, which are 6 miles apart, had their own. Each one had their own. And then you got Baltimore. I mean, like big cities, even in the north, were having the same fucking issue. And it's almost exactly 100 years later, just like coronavirus.
Yeah.
Because you got to tie it into what's going on with corona versus the Spanish flu, which happened around the exact same time.
If you don't know about it, look into it, because it probably happened where you live and you don't even know about it.
Yep. Just dig in.
If you live in Baltimore,
is available to you.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people don't know about this stuff, because it's not just like the Tulsa thing, which we talked about before. There's so many people that just aren't aware of it at all. Shit, I wasn't aware of the Tulsa thing.
Not until you watched The Watchmen?
Watchmen.
Yep.
Before Watchmen,
that's why this art is great.
I didn't know about it.
You know, pop culture art and things like comics, graphic novels, stuff like that, they bring these things to the forefront and make it consumable and get people curious. And I think that's one of the nice things about that type of fiction that's tied to reality. You know, it's I know a lot of people between that and Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
those were two, you know, pieces of current pop art that really got people curious, and it happened at the right time in our culture. We were having a moment already.
I was going to mention Lovecraft Country, because while I was already aware of it, I knew people that were not aware of things like Emmett Till.
Right.
And they worked that into Lovecraft Country.
That was awesome.
And it's just these are not the things that get the same coverage in the history books and the history classes. It's just not. It's not that way.
So what about the mental gymnastics that people will do to bend over backwards to find any reason that makes sense in their feeble mind that any of this shit happened last week, or let's just call it for the last 5 years? Like, it's been a series of unfortunate events, and there's always an excuse.
If I were to venture a guess, it has a lot to do with the idea that people aren't dealing with the same sets of data at all. You know, that people are looking at completely different worldview and looking at the same events through such different colored glasses that they're not having the same experience when the same events are happening. And I think that framework gets set up so that it's actually not that much flipping and bending for them.
So I would argue that they see it, but they don't have to experience it, so it's not as real to them. And the reason why I would say that is, I think I sent it to you, Gary. I don't know if I forwarded it to you, Tony, but the report of the people that are on the no-fly list.
Yes.
And in one of the videos, like, some random white guy is being held down by the police, and he's being videoed, and you hear him yelling, "You're treating me like a black person."
Wow.
So it's not
wow.
They don't know that the treatment is different. They're okay with that being different.
I'll give you another one that goes with that, which is I forgot the girl's name, the one that got the pepper spray in the eyes.
Oh, yeah. Elizabeth.
Yes. Elizabeth from what, Tennessee?
Yeah, somewhere in Tennessee, I think.
Yep, that sounds right.
Stupid. They're like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Well, we're gonna have a revolution."
Just snitching on herself.
Well, they all snitched on themselves, but that's another topic that I'll get into in a minute. But just it's just crazy how these people just live in a completely different universe, because they're just like, "Oh, well, we came for a revolution," like, and
that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah, they thought they were just going to cruise up and like people were going to hand out drinks and shit, and like they were going to have themselves a nice little revolution party, and then suddenly she fucked around and found out with the pepper spray.
Yep.
Right.
And then she was so upset about it, just like these people that are on the no-fly list. All of a sudden, it's like, oh God, I have to find. There was somebody tweeted something before. Maybe I kept it open on my phone because I saw it earlier and I was just laughing at it.
How about the idiots that were not even the ones that were taken pictures of by someone else, but were willfully posting selfies, or the dude who posed in Pelosi's office with his feet up and the flag tossed all sideways, and then outside with taking a selfie with the fucking mail. Like, bro, what are you doing?
That's one of the things I was going to get into, because these people.
I'm not on his side. I'm not on his side. But don't dry snitch on yourself. What are you doing?
Please.
This drives me so crazy because, and this is a pattern that we're going to have through this episode, and we've had it through a lot of our episodes, where we talked about things months ago, and here's just another example of it, because we talked about how there's cameras everywhere, and we talked about how a lot of these people, earlier context we were talking about cops, they do whatever because they don't even care that there's cameras everywhere, because the system is going to fix it. And that's exactly what happened with all these snitch-ass motherfuckers that came rolling through, because here they are, the guy from, I forget what state he was from, but he's like a state delegate or something.
The state legislature.
Oh, yeah. That guy was from West Virginia.
Okay, yeah, and I forget his name, but he's screaming his name, and he's like, I'm in the Capitol now, like as he walks through the door. It's like, but this is the mentality, and it just so happens that a lot of these people were off-duty cops and military. So, of course, just like I said, that mentality that we talked about before, here it is in practice, in play for all of you to see, because they're snitching on themselves. They don't give a fuck. And by the way, you can blow me with all the, it was Antifa bullshit.
No.
Because that's been proven, because all of these people, not all of them, I would say the vast majority of them, they've got social media that's everywhere for everybody to see, where they're Trump, QAnon, all this other shit. They're down for the cause.
These motherfuckers are not out there on the long play faking out people on the internet. That is not how this works.
They're not some fucking intruder. They're not some secret. I
saw people out there turning on the girl who got shot. They're like, oh no, she was an Antifa infiltrator. She wasn't real. Come on. So she spent the last 2 years or 4 years or however long back you want to go supporting Trump, and she's jumping on the bandwagon now. She did the long play on this? I don't think so. Get the fuck out of here. That's just dumb.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, Uncle Donald, they think is the smartest, most genius, stable man in the world. So their barometer's a little off.
And I can't find the tweet, by the way, but basically the idea of the tweet was that these people thought they would go have their little revolution, completely flip over the government of this country, and then just get on a plane and fly back and go to work the next day.
That's not how it works.
I wish I could find the tweet. It's driving me crazy. I'm looking for it and I can't find it. But
was it Trump's just tweet?
No, it was somebody.
That's why it's gone.
That's just ice cold.
I was paraphrasing it, but it was basically the idea that these people just thought, oh, well, we're going to overthrow the government, and then we're just going to get on a plane and fly back and go to work the next day like everything is cool.
Yeah.
But, Gary, I got a question about that premise, which is, if they thought they were going to overthrow the government, and they got in where they probably maybe thought they weren't going to get, what they did when they got inside didn't look like overthrowing a government to me. It looked like, oh shit, what do we do now? There were a handful of people that were running around like they had a purpose, but just a couple. And everybody else just basically took their photo op and live streamed to be like, hey, everybody outside, look, we did it. We won. Look, we beat the government.
I'm going to jail.
I did a felony. Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Listen, they thought this was like a selfie opportunity.
It really played that way.
Because again, here we go with how stupid these people are. They're taking selfies, they're doing all this other shit. But did you notice that when they walked in, like they were all like obeying the velvet rope?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody about that yet.
Like you didn't see nobody take the things and fucking flip the velvet rope. They all just stayed in the line. Like
there were a couple of people who moved them.
Like it was a fucking tour group.
But there were a pair of security personnel or police that were in that foyer where they were showing the footage. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, you'd see somebody kind of stray outside the ropes, and then they'd like look and they'd see them, and then you'd watch them kind of like they'd leave the rope alone and stay inside the ropes. So they just got in through fighting the police and authority. Once they get inside, they start obeying authority. Little red rope.
Yep.
There's a couple of cops standing over there watching us. Okay, well, let's stay in the rope as we walk into this place that we're not invited to.
If you didn't know any better, it would look like a tour group coming through.
It really did. That was for a while. I had it on the TV turned down.
Just in cosplay.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is this? What did I leave? Did I bump my head? What these moments of surrealism kind of punch through, and you're like, is this real? Is this happening? They just fought with the cops to get in here, and now they're staying in the ropes."
Well, yeah. I guarantee you, it's not the ones that were actually fighting with the cops.
True.
It's the one that snaked around the people that were fighting with the goddamn cops.
Right. You're right.
That was the next thing I was going to say, that for most of these people, it was just like a tourist opportunity because all these people were supposedly carrying, but yet no shots got fired. Like, motherfucker, you want to be a revolutionary? Be a revolutionary.
Right.
Like, a couple of them.
If you're planning to bring the pain, bring the pain.
Yeah, a couple of them shit on the stairs or something.
I saw a couple of them like hanging Nazi flags, or carrying the Dixie flag, but like I'm not happy about that, but it is what it is.
I saw an image that I haven't verified yet. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was like of a white supremacist flag being hung from one of the.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I know there was one image that they said was actually from somewhere else.
Okay.
But there's been, the Confederate flag thing is real.
That one was
verified. A couple other flag things are real. And it's just, the whole thing is so ridiculous. And here's another good one from Twitter, by the way. Come on, guys. All they did was break into our nation's capital, assault and murder police officers, and try to kidnap and or kill members of Congress in hopes of overturning a free and fair election. It's not like they knelt silently before a football game.
Okay, so I wasn't going to go there with this conversation, but we've seen multiple times over the last, we'll call it 10 years, of black people or minorities of any sort speaking out against violence and being told that they're not being patriotic, that they're against their country, the yada, yada, yada. We could just take it straight down that line. How is this not worse? How is this not just spitting in the face of what you say you stand for? I don't understand. Can either of you make any better sense of that than I can?
No, because there is no sense.
Your silence is clear.
Because listen, all these guys are all talking about America, 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 but everything that they're doing is basically trying to flip over the table that is America. Because when it comes to America, what's one of the biggest things that everybody talks about? Fair democratic elections and things like that. Here we are, you lost, but they stole it. And there's
been no proof. Not 1 ounce of proof has come out.
None. Zero. Zip.
Yeah. It's alarming that such a statistically significant number of people in polls have responded that they don't think it was a fair election. I mean, a lot.
They just don't think it's fair that their guy lost.
That's not what fairness is.
But that's
just an outcome you don't like.
That's how they see it.
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing, let's call it Connect 4, and you don't like that your friend connected them for that you didn't see happening out of the corner of your fucking eye. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that he didn't connect them. Fuck off.
But we all know that's stuff that 12-year-olds do.
Well, we're dealing with 70 million plus of those 12-year-olds.
I guess that's really what it comes down to is...
Well, here's where I take it down the rabbit hole, but before I do that, I think I might have actually found the tweet. Here you go. I got it now.
Nice.
Try to get your head around this. People thought they were going to storm the Capitol, kill or take hostage members of Congress, force them to name Trump the winner of the election, and place him in power for another 4 years or whatever, and then fly home and go back to work. And then that same person shared a different tweet which said, watching every Trump terrorist get arrested at the airport is a streaming service I would pay full price for. In fact, I'd even upgrade to ad-free premium.
Well, you guys got a plug in there, too. Oh, man.
Dude.
And by the way, just to give credit, Quentin.Quarantino on Instagram. Usually full of memes and shit, but those tweets were in that mix today.
Okay.
And, oh, goddamn, it's so good.
My problem is, it's not easy to get me to be speechless, but I was pretty speechless in the past week, and I'm sitting here. Well, okay, let's rewind this to earlier today, and how Tony ended up being on the show. Tony hits me with a text. I'm worried about what was your text exactly? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Whoever can find it first here.
I can find it pretty quick. You said to me, what is it? I'm legit waiting for something horrible to come up as an alert on my phone. There was no lead in. We hadn't been talking.
Yeah, just out of the blue.
Out of the blue, just jammed my eye holes with that, and my response was, "It's coming." And these next 9-10 days I'm fit to be tied based on like the potential for violence that is on the horizon. And if you as a listener don't believe it's possible, please believe 100% it is possible. All these motherfuckers have been waiting and planning and talking. A lot of them left Facebook for a good few months over on that Parler thing and have been talking and chatting. So I want to point both of you to that thing that you both sent me about the FBI warning of armed protests at every single capital in all 50 states over the course of the next couple days. Now, I don't think that coming into Trenton armed to the teeth, if you wander into the wrong neighborhood because you're only 2 blocks away, is probably not your best plan. But hey, if you want to do it, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to.
Yeah, they're already pretty strapped over there.
You better mind your P's and Q's downtown. That's all I have to say. Now, I would not doubt that this is going to happen, but I don't know what the end game of showing up to the state capitals in all 50 states is really going to get them. Or do they really think that, there are some scary guys outside with guns that we were warned about, and we didn't even go to work for the next couple of days, and we just all worked from home, and you guys stood outside alone? Like, what are you getting at? Where are you going to take over an empty building?
Well, first off, let me get a good laugh in here, because the feds didn't know that this shit could happen on Wednesday. But now all of a sudden their intelligence game has stepped up so much that they know that all 50 states have some shit planned.
They do.
Like, listen, these motherfuckers on Wednesday, they had merch. Yeah. They were wearing sweatshirts that said, like, MAGA Civil War with the date on it. Like, you're going to tell me nobody knew that this was coming?
They ignored that it was coming.
Of course they did.
Because it looks good on the TV to have civil strife, to be honest. That's really what it comes down to. It burgeons a number of different points that... it's just
laughable.
It's completely R-word.
It's laughable. But
I think we've kind of consistently underestimated a lot of these folks. We don't get them. We just don't get them. We underestimated the viability. A lot of us, not everyone, present company excluded. I really didn't see President Trump getting elected. I'm one of those people that woke up that morning and was like, or as I was getting ready for bed, like, this is happening? This is happening?
That's a whole...
And so, like, every step of the way, the people that elect him, the people that support him, the people who have rode with him, ride or die, through the White House and through the shenanigans that he's been dragging us all through, it's been a revolving door of epic proportions for a presidency. But I don't think we could have thought that other presidential candidates would have done half of the things that he could have done. Like, if we just doubled the worst thing that we had in mind and imagine that that's what Trump might get up to, he seems to have gone beyond that. And much like that, I feel like his followers tend to exceed our expectations. They're going to show up and have a barbecue and scream about the Biden crime family on the steps of the Capitol and, have a beer, buy some merch, do their photo ops out in front of the Capitol. But they didn't probably think that they were going to run up those steps, is my guess.
Well,
that they were going to fight with cops, with Blue Lives flags, in the crowd. We're going to fight the Capitol cops and push through. I think that caught them by surprise.
I think a lot of it you could have seen coming.
Yeah.
But in general...
Well, hey, you guys saw it.
Talking about it long term, because you mentioned the election back then and you were surprised that he was elected. I was, but I wasn't, because that was a perfect storm of just shit. And I could go on about that, but that's another hour.
Right.
The bottom line was that was a perfect storm, and there was a lot to it, and the Democrats definitely did their part to make sure that it was a shit show. And Trump just was the right guy in the right place at the right time, making promises that he knew he couldn't keep, because here we are 4 years later, he doesn't even have a fucking wall, and all these jobs that he claimed he was bringing back here are not here. But you had so many desperate people that, you're standing in a room full of starving people and you wave a burger around, of course everybody's going to go for it. But then, big picture here, I've always said that Trump is not necessarily the problem, he's a symptom. Because I've talked about this a lot on here, where for the past 20, 30, 40 years, we've just been dumbing people down. We've been breeding robots. I called it the war on common sense, because none of it matters. If you've ever gone to court for anything, you'll see that that system is flawed. And while it seems like these things would be common sense, they're not common sense in court. If you see, and it doesn't matter what kind of court, whether it's family court or civil court or business matters or things like that, because I've talked to so many people with the same experience, that the system is all messed up, that it's designed to make money and grind and not actually get anything done. And I've talked about the customer service jobs that I've had and how
the only thing that the sorry to interject, but really the only thing the court system is set up to do is to incarcerate the poor who are unable to afford to buy their way out of jail. That is it.
Well, that's when you're dealing with criminal court. When you're dealing with something other than criminal court, you don't even have that. Like, that's a shitty goal, but at least it's an end. My own experience and the experience of people that I know in dealing with different type of matters, all that shit is just a wheel that keeps grinding, and the only people getting anything out of it are the lawyers who are getting the money. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's family court or business, civil court, whatever. It's all designed the same way, and it's all shit. And then I've talked about customer service jobs that I've had where they want you to basically read off a script. If you go to any retail establishment, you see it. Doesn't matter whether you're going to CVS or going to Best Buy, whatever it is, you can see it. If you interact with the people that work there, it's all very scripted. If you call customer service for any company, any website, anything, it's all the same shit. We've been breeding robots for years and years and years. And I talked about my experience in the music business where it was taking advantage of this robot mentality where you're putting music, it's like an earworm, and you're just getting it out there so it gets stuck in people's heads with like pop music and radio and stuff like that. Now we've reached the point with social media, these people just want to be spoon-fed this shit. Tell me what to think. Tell me how to vote. And I said it when we were talking about the election. You're worried about Russia. Fuck Russia. What about the fact that Russia is just taking advantage of this sheep mentality that we've built in for the past couple of generations? So all of this is just a culmination of that. Because now you've got all these people just looking to be spoon-fed anything, and here they are getting fed this QAnon shit. And I had to pause because just even saying it, I know I told you the story, Len. My girlfriend didn't know what QAnon was about, and
God bless her heart.
She was here this past weekend, and she wanted me to explain it to her, and I stopped and I said, "Listen, once I tell you
that you're never getting this out of your mind,
you're gonna be like, what the fuck all day."
But I told her, I said, and we've talked about it many times. Like I know Len and I had a long discussion about it with Monty from Race Trader. Mm-hmm. I told her, I said, once I explain this to you, you can't unknow it.
That's right.
And you're gonna feel different for knowing it.
You're about to bite the forbidden fruit.
Like your IQ is about to drop a couple of points.
Oh, how'd she
take it? And all I did, and I couldn't even do it with a straight face, all I did was read her parts of the Wikipedia page. And I swear to God, I wish I recorded the look that she gave me because she really thought that I was full of shit. And I said, no, this is what it is.
No jokes here. This is real.
Satanic, pedophile, cannibal Democrats.
That's right.
And Trump is the savior. And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, people actually believe this shit? I'm like, yeah. The vast majority of those people, because she was sitting on the couch with me watching CNN as these riots were going down, just floored. Because she was never really that deep into politics, but being around me,
she got no choice, baby.
Kind of got no choice. So she started to absorb a lot of the shit, and she's just watching, and she's like, holy fuck. And she's also like, God damn, you said this was going to happen. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck. But I explained QAnon to her, and I mean, the poor girl, she's never going to be the same. I just, like, I felt my own IQ dropping again. Like, every time I talk about it and try to explain it, I just lose a little more of my soul.
Yeah.
And it's so insane, but it ties in with what I've been talking about all this time, and I've been talking about long before we had this podcast, that we've dumbed down society so much that shit is a real thing.
Yeah, like, I mean, we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago with Andy, whenever it was. But as you said, the fact that we've gone from Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster to QAnon.
Yeah.
Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster seem like real now. Like, they probably actually exist because none of this shit really does exist.
It's like I said, it's like Bermuda Triangle. Okay, boomer. Like, that shit is old now, but people, Loch Ness Monster, okay, a few people might believe that shit, or Bigfoot. Like, Look at how many motherfuckers believe QAnon. And I pulled up pictures and I showed her, like, here's Mike Pence on the runway talking to a military guy with a big Q patch on his fucking pocket. And she's like, that's what that is? I'm like, yeah, that's what that is.
That is exactly what that is.
And I'm showing her other examples of this, and she's just like floored. And every time I look at it, I'm floored because I can't believe that we've gotten to this point. But as I've said, we've dumbed down people so much, and these people are so desperate. These people don't want to drive the car. They want to sit there and let somebody else make the decisions. They want to be told what to think. They want to be told what to wear. They want to be told who to vote for. And that's where all that Russia bullshit comes in. Because in the end, you breed a bunch of sheep. You can't be surprised when they start being sheep. So here we are now, because look at the numbers. The vast majority of Republicans think that there was election fraud. There's no proof, none. All these court cases, how many court cases have there been?
60.
Over 50? 60?
There have been 60 court cases, and only one of those court cases was not immediately thrown out.
Right. So
you're 59-1, son. Where is your evidence on that one? Because clearly, if you won one or at least got through, you have something that they thought was worth taking a second look at. But you haven't provided anything. Just like every other thing in the Trump administration. Oh, it's coming. Just wait. When you see it, it's going to blow your mind. Just trust me, it's coming.
You can't even give them that one, because that's a no contest right now. You can't even give them that one because they have yet to go anywhere with that one. It just didn't immediately get thrown out. Right. So that's not even a one. That's like that's a no contest. So you're like 59-0-1 right now. So
well, hold on. Let me just back up 1 sec.
Go ahead.
This motherfucker has been talking about replacing quote unquote Obamacare since day one.
Yep.
And day
do it, Len. Do it.
Been saying, "Yo, it is coming. Just wait till you see it. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to be the greatest.
It's so great.
It's so great. Everything, everything
it's
about
be the best healthcare plan ever."
Every time he gets asked about it, it's just a couple weeks out. This dude is a fucking liar from the jump. He's been lying to everyone.
Hold on. Don't forget when he did that interview with what's her name, and he had Barbie bring out that giant fucking book. Right. I was like, that's the healthcare plan, and that shit was probably all blank pages.
Well, no, it was Jack. It was Jack from the fucking Jack Nicholson in the movie where it's just work all day, or what is it like?
Oh.
It's just the same thing repeated the whole time from The Shining.
Yeah. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah. That's all that was printed on every single page.
Yeah.
So, if you're telling me that you've had 4 years to try and roll out this repeal and replace of Obamacare, and you have done literally dick, for replacing it, not one goddamn thing. So why should I believe you that you have facts that could then prove it wrong? Because you've been saying you've had them since basically before the election even happened, and you haven't rolled out one fucking believable piece of information. Fuck off.
The evidence is overwhelming.
Well, show me some.
Yeah, there's none. Not one.
Like, literally, I'm more than willing to listen if you have something that is provable. Unless you don't, and you're just lying to me. And if you're lying to me, I mean, you're spitting in my ass telling me it's raining.
Guys,
it's like, no, I don't believe you.
I got to tell you, I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
I don't have a single dollar that I can show you.
Right.
Yep.
Trust me.
I can't show you any tax return.
I'm a billionaire.
But I got a lot of money.
It's all such
when he's out of there, and the New York State goes for him because she's coming for him. I promise you this, that the New York State Attorney General is coming for Trump. 100%. You can bet every dollar you have. You got Bitcoin, bet your Bitcoin on it, because they are fucking coming for him because they're tired of his bullshit. And now, as soon as he's no longer president, they can actually do something. Yep. Did you see the report that the New York State Bar is looking to disbar Giuliani?
Yep.
Yeah, I sent you that.
Yeah.
I did see
that. The Trump train is grinding to a halt.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I mean, he can't. They've cut off all his communication.
Yeah,
I mean, what is he
it's not like he's. It's not like he's got a fucking press office or like a press room where he can have press conferences and stuff like that. They shut off. They shut off Twitter, so they shut off all his communication. How is he going to talk to people? Get the fuck out of here, fucking moron!
Did you see that Twitter has cut off like pretty much every single account that could be remotely touching him? And like, I saw this meme. I think I sent it maybe to both of you, but basically every single service other than YouTube have like just chopped him out, and his phone is basically a brick. It's just totally useless.
But you know what? Though?
Email list going right now. That's about it. Old school email list.
I got to step in for a second and say one thing that needs to be said. Fuck Twitter too. Because they let him slide on the rules, their own rules, for so long. All of a sudden now, finally, because they saw this shit got real, all of a sudden now they're like, motherfucker, we knew this was coming. You helped make it happen. And the same goes for these Republicans also that are in Congress. All of them enabled his bullshit, and the people on his staff and this and that. All of a sudden they start resigning like they're going to clean up their act. It's like, when he was separating kids from their parents and all this other bullshit, you were right in there. All of a sudden now you're clutching the pearls like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Like, is anybody really surprised that he did that shit?
So,
because if you're surprised and you work for him all this time, you're surprised. You're an asshole.
I don't
buy that there's
any of them that were jumping like rats off a sinking ship. They're all bullshitting right now. They knew they should have jumped off that ship, but they were either scared of him or scared to be jobless.
Right.
That's it.
I have a theory with regard to the cabinet members.
I have that same theory, I bet.
It's quite possible.
So, hit me with your theory, but I know what mine is.
I think it is. I'm probably in on it, too.
Yeah, I think that it had more likely had something to do with their close personal relationships with him or the people who put him in power. So they didn't want to have to be called upon,
of course,
by Republican leadership to do the 45.
Absolutely.
And
the 25, you mean?
I mean 25.
Yeah. No,
25, Mr. 45.
Absolutely right. Without a doubt.
And so now they can distance themselves and be like, look, we're doing you a favor because we're not going to be at the table having to be involved in this vote. And so, we're going to go now. We're going to go now.
Let's face it, they all have personal relationships with him because he just hooked up all of his friends.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And people that gave him, massive donations or whatever. So it's all...
Well, DeVos got what she wanted, so...
Yeah, so that was basically my theory, is that he made a few phone calls right away and said, hey, you need to get out of there, because if Pence decides to convene the thing, they're going to oust me right out of here. So at least one of you need to go, because then they can't call a full cabinet until I name a new member, and I'm not going to name a new member before I leave in 2 weeks. So somebody's got to go.
Exactly.
Right.
And it would look better if more than one person left.
Right. So.
And by the way, the tweet that I posted about Betsy DeVos, I think was fucking fantastic.
I didn't see it. Maybe I did, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I put it up a couple of days ago, and a bunch of people shared it. Somebody posted on Twitter Did you resign because having shooters in the building was too much like a real school for you?
Ooh. Ooh. Verbal fire.
Savage. Savage.
Yeah.
And I just put it and I was like, yeah, uppercut.
Yep.
What hood is this?
Drugged him.
Yeah. So, going back to some of this tech stuff.
If you're listening to this, check out Crime Faces on Instagram because they're so goddamn good.
So good. So, going back to some of the tech stuff, there have been a few things that have come out in the past couple hours that made me laugh, but also made me go, why the fuck didn't you do that before? So, number one, GoFundMe is now banning all fundraising for travel expenses for potentially violent political events.
Wow.
Facebook bans all Stop the Steal content, but they waited 69 days after the fucking election to do it. And Airbnb is also saying they're planning to ban all rioters from any inauguration bookings.
Imagine you're an Airbnb host and the dude shows up in the fur with the fucking horn helmet.
I mean, how could you think that guy was at all political? You'd think he was like some kind of,
Like, oh yeah, I didn't know Comic-Con was around.
Yeah, you think he's some kind of cosplayer or something, right? He's an innocent, sweet boy,
Lastly,
a nice boy.
Lastly, Parler is attempting. Now, hear me out on this.
Okay.
I don't care how much fucking money you have. Do you weigh more than Amazon? Do you weigh more than Amazon? I don't think you do.
Nobody
because
does.
Jeff Bezos has enough money that he could sue you every day for the rest of forever and still have billions of dollars. So Parler is attempting to sue Amazon for cutting off its services to their cloud, which is where their site was.
Good luck.
That's all desperation.
Good luck.
Why waste your money, time, or effort? It is not going to get you anything. Spend that money and effort trying to convince somebody else to host your services. Don't waste your money here.
Well, I'll tell you what. It sounds like that's pretty clear evidence that Trump's not behind that, because Trump's smart enough to do that to little people.
Right.
He always takes on the little guy, his electric contractors and people like that. He will take them to court,
Right.
and knowing that they're not going to be able to hang, and grind them until they finally knuckle under and accept doing work for nothing. Things like that.
I guarantee you, Bezos and his lawyers got that paperwork from Parler and went, circular file, whatever, we'll deal with it later, because they are not that important in the grand scheme of the money that rolls into Amazon. They don't give a fuck about Parler.
Yeah, but you know what I think that is too? I think there's two other things at play there. One is that they're putting that out there because some greasy cocksucker lawyer is going to see publicity and help them with it. That's number one.
For sure.
Number two
he's some greasy fucking asshole that was on their fucking site. It's going to be one of their users that was like, this was my new outlet.
But number two is that somebody will see that and decide to help him out with some funding. So it's all publicity just to put the word out there and show how desperate he is, because somebody will sweep in and throw him some cash if there's something that they can get out of it.
I think they've landed themselves a new server to host them, because their big problem is the app store shutting them down.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get the app, and then you're not on any actual web servers. You're kind of fucked.
Right.
Well, I think that they got themselves on a web server.
Did they get a new web server?
I think that happened this afternoon, yeah.
But the biggest problem with that is that anybody that's going to invest in them is going to want to see growth, and you can't grow if nobody else can download your shit. That means whoever's got it now, they got it, and that's
it.
That's your base. There's no growth, period.
And you know what? Google, Apple, etc., there is no reason that they have to accept any
No.
Right.
apps.
And
They can turn down carte blanche whatever they want to do.
All right, but here's a question to pose to you guys before I air my thoughts on this. In all honesty, looking at it and looking at the big picture, do you think it's okay that they ban Trump?
I mean,
okay.
I think it's okay. I mean,
Like,
if you're going
there's
to
certain
ban
stuff that's obvious, like the potential violence and inciting this riot the other day and things like that.
So,
but
hear me out.
There's a point that I'm getting to.
If you're going to ban Kathy Griffin for making a hang or kill Donald Trump tweet 4 years ago or whatever, and she's been banned since, then you kind of have to stand on that same hill and ban him for inciting extreme levels of violence or potential for violence, and as well the future risk of keeping him on board, because you have to at least do risk analysis to say, all right, that was bad, but could it be worse? Yes, this is a private company. We don't have to give you access. Fuck off.
Right.
So, at least in my opinion, I think they did the right thing, because freedom of speech is guaranteed if you're standing on the corner yelling nonsense. It's guaranteed that the government can't come in and stop you. But I can't walk into a restaurant and just say whatever shit I want, because they can throw my ass the fuck out.
Right.
You're at my point right there. You know, it's a place of business that is run by a proprietor, and that when you go on those social media websites, you are at their place of business. You're there to get a service. They're there to provide it. And they have the ability to set the criteria for behavior of what they are welcoming there and what they're not.
Right.
They haven't been exactly fair how they use that power. I think that's pretty well documented. There's different people who've been treated all different ways. But it seems like they're interested in keeping their userships in a lot of social media, so they try and grow as these things happen. I mean, personally, I think it's totally within their rights to do it. And any of the people who are complaining about it are the highest level of hypocrite. If they're the type of Trump supporter who also thought that it was A-OK to deny gay wedding cakes for bakeries.
Right.
Right.
You know, that same crowd thought that was chill. We could do that. But now you want to kick him off of there. Now you're government overreach. It's not government that's doing it. It's a private business.
Well, here's why I asked, because on the surface it seems perfectly reasonable and logical, but one of the arguments that some people make is that it sets a bad precedent, because eventually, what if they want to shut something else down that's unpopular but not in the same direction? And I can see that argument a little bit.
That's
obviously
sort of their right.
It's a bit more extreme here with Trump and his fucking madness, but I could see that argument a little bit. In the end, I don't think there's an easy answer, and that goes back to what I said earlier about the fact that a lot of people just want to be spoon-fed, and this is their main source of news and opinions, etc.
So, this is completely absurd statement, but, and I'm going to qualify it as such. You go into a business or a restaurant, etc., and the requirement is no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Right.
If you're going to talk about wild shit, if they say you got shoes, you got a shirt on, or you got pants on, we're not serving you. You got to come in here with nothing on. Like, that's the opposite argument of that. And would that ever happen? No. Do I think that they might shut down something from the left and say it's dangerous? Sure. It's definitely possible. And is it within their right? Absolutely. But if you choose to use the service, you choose to use the service at the peril of being at their control.
Right.
Like, there's no requirement that we all use Twitter or we all use Facebook or any of these other things. It's a choice we make, knowing that A, they're spying on us, B, they can shut us down at any fucking moment.
Right.
So, like, you signed the contract when you signed up to be on the service. You act like an asshole. Right. You act like an asshole. It's their right to be like, you can't use our service because we don't want you here. So I'm not really worried about Trump losing it. My only concern is that all these idiots are circling the drain of having nowhere to talk about it in public. So they're going to end up in weird spots where they're able to talk and we're never going to see it. So then there's low visibility, and that ups our risk.
And that's another argument that I've seen some people make.
Yeah.
I don't think there's easy answers for any of this shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about free speech, there's going to be blurred lines at times, and there's going to be some dicey situations no matter how you look at it. And there's no solutions to some of this stuff. It's just one of those things that we're just going to have to figure out. And I also understand the argument that some people have that these social media companies sometimes have too much power, but it goes back again to what I said before about these people want to be spoon-fed, so they get all their information from
memes,
X or Y, whether it's, you could say that about the big media companies also. You know, people get all their info from CNN, or they get all their info from MSNBC, or they get all their info from Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, there's no clear path here. It just is how it is, and there's nothing that we can do about it. But what we could try to do, especially those of you with children, is to teach your children to stop being such fucking robots and to actually use their brains and not just learn to ask questions and research and do different things.
I have no skin in the parent game whatsoever, but Gary, I think you're 100% right. You have to if you're going to be condition someone to learn, to think, to analyze, to compare, to weigh, to measure, to understand that no action often has as much consequence as taking action. Things like that. You know, that way when you're confronted with decisions, you've got a tool set that you can use and test.
Right. And to take it further, and this applies to everything we're talking about here, because I've talked about it on here before, that I've talked to my kids about this stuff. My kids are teenagers now. They do their own thing a lot of the time, but I drilled it into them from when they were young that there's a lot of people in this country and in this world that not only are they ignorant, but they're happy to be ignorant.
Right.
They rejoice in their ignorance. And this is what I said before about where we're at as a culture, that everybody just wants to be spoon-fed. So this ignorance, and it rolls downhill because you've got the ignorant parents that have even more ignorant kids. So like I said, you got a couple of generations in this game already, and some of these kids are just dumb as shit. Yeah. So and not only are they dumb, they love being dumb. They want everybody to be dumb just like them. And the parents of those people are the dummies that are rolling up in the Capitol.
So one of the things that I'll point out, and not to get too deep into it, but I do work in an industry where this comes up. Children, for the last, we'll call it 30 years, because I feel like when we were all young, because we're all around the same age, we had teachers that were actually focused on teaching, and they weren't focused as much on tests. Right. Over the last 30 years, there's been such a focus on testing children to prove that the budgets that they have in place are worthwhile, that they've come up with these quote-unquote measures and metrics that take all the actual learning out, and you're just studying in a rat, like in a rat maze, trying to figure out how to get out of the maze of getting through the test, and you're not actually truly learning anything.
And
That's right.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because that's another thing that factors into what I've been saying about the culture leading to this point, because that's a big part of it. The way the education system has changed, and the fights that we have, especially in city schools, as they've changed and everything is geared towards tests. Because I remember my kids stressing out about the state tests that are coming. It's like a whole week of state tests. And a lot of complaints from parents and a lot of even educators talking about that now, instead of it being a long-term education, all of the education is geared towards preparing them for these fucking tests.
It's just test all year. So at the beginning of the year, they have like all the there's like a where are you at now test at the beginning of the year. And then they have all the like required information that we want to cram into your brain so that you can pass this test in March or April. And then how did you do? And then, preparing you for the summer so that when you come back, you can take this next test. There's no like critical learning. These kids can't even make fucking goddamn change at the goddamn grocery store. Like, if the machine don't tell them what to do, they don't know what to do.
They can't even do basic math.
And I hand you a 20 and 10 cents, and the machine said it was, let's just say the machine said it was 17.10, and I hand you whatever so that I can get just a crisp fiver back, 22.10. They can't do the math to be like, oh, it's only a 5. Here's your 5. I got to tell them it's a 5, and then they don't believe me.
And
sure, the screen didn't say that,
Right. Yeah, because they're so. But that's a great example, because it just shows once again where the problem is, because it's the robot mentality, like I've been talking about, where they're so used to working off a script, or they're so used to reading that amount on a screen, that if they have to do the brain work, they can't do it.
Yep.
And by the way, just to complete the thought, when it comes to the school thing and take it in a different direction, because we're talking about it from the point of view of the student. I've known many people who are teachers who were frustrated with the whole system, and some of them left teaching altogether, because since the focus was so heavy on testing, that was how they evaluated a whole school.
Right.
So all it was making sure that these kids passed the test so they could push them up, because if too many of them fail, then it's considered a bad school, and then they have to rearrange the whole.
Right. And
then they close the school and break it up, or whatever they do.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, it's just all about making sure that the kids pass the tests, and that's it.
It's not about progress. It's about pass the test.
Yeah, well, I had an ex-girlfriend of mine who was a teacher in Manhattan, and at the end, there were a few kids that she didn't want to pass based on their classwork, and the principal is pushing her to pass them because that's how the school is evaluated. But yeah, they passed their tests at the end, but if you're supposed to grade it with the schoolwork also, they totally botched the schoolwork. But this is the problem with the whole system, because here she is getting the pressure to pass these kids. She doesn't want to pass these kids, but then what do you do because you're under such pressure? And in the end, she just gave up and quit teaching altogether. And there are many other people that I know or friends of friends that have had the same experience, because that's how the system works now. And it just dumbs it down, because here you are, because God knows I've seen it with kids also, where suddenly these kids go to high school or they go to middle school or whatever, and now here they are, they've just been promoted, because it's like, okay, as long as you pass the test, we'll push you through. And here they are, a couple of years down the line, without the skills they need, and they end up in a new school, and they're fucked.
Yeah,
they're totally fucked.
Barely read, or they're reading at like a second grade level, but they're a fucking seventh grader. I would argue, I would love to know what the average reading range of the protesters was last week, because I guarantee you it's fucking low.
Yeah.
The average reading level is 120 characters.
That's from the original average, 40.
Yeah, that's the average reading level, which is it's fucked up, and I'm making a joke, but what the sad part is that there's a lot of truth to that.
No, you're. I think you're spot on.
Yeah, and that's scary in itself. If you look at it that way, it's just everything is so. Because God, I've known teachers that have gotten papers where they're talking in text speak, with the letter U instead of YOU, like
for sure.
Oh no!
Like
okay.
Why? I hadn't thought about that, but I'm sure that's happening. Yeah.
Oh, I know it's happening because, and this is a couple of years ago, I heard this from teachers that I knew that were like friends of friends.
Yeah.
So I occasionally have hip hop dudes come into my studio and lay down whatever on their beats. I hate to sell my friends out who come into the studio, but one of them came in and was just rapping about something, but he was talking about getting to the 9th inning, but he said ending. He thought of they were baseball endings. And when I corrected him, one of his friends sitting on the couch was like, well, that's how we just say it in the hood. And I'm like, I don't care how you say it in the hood. That is incorrect. And if you're going to put that on a record, why would you want to go on record being an idiot? Like, I get that there's slang. I get that there's slang. And I'm perfectly fine with slang, but that is not slang. That is clear that nobody ever told you the right word. And I'm just trying to help you.
And it's contagious because now you're doing it too.
Right.
And you're opening, and I'll curb myself because I know I can rant, but that's a whole other subject to talk about, because just talking about hip hop and the way it fits into the culture, and then the fact that it's been dumbed down
all the way down
to just mumbling bullshit. Because if you listen in the old days, Chuck D was so
eloquent,
careful and eloquent. He was careful with his diction. Everything was clear. A lot of old school guys. What's that?
LL Cool J. You could understand every fucking word.
He wanted to make sure you understood him because he was murdering you.
Right. Yeah. Well, but you could take. There's so many guys that we could throw out there.
Yeah.
But it's just it's another great example in a completely different direction. It's another great example of talking about the dumbing down of our culture, because
we're going to do a whole episode on the dumbing down of our culture.
Oh, sure.
But I will agree with you. And all I'll say about hip hop is that once money actually got involved, all they wanted was a product to sell, and it was never about a message. Well, the less message you have, the more product you will sell.
I think part of the issue was putting hooks in and making it pop songs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
and mixing in all the R&B stuff.
Commercial.
But at the basic level, now you got these dudes mumbling about Molly and Percocet, but back then you had these dudes actually giving a shit about what kind of grammar they were using, even if they added, a flourish to the language.
Absolutely.
It was a form of communication, and it's not that anymore.
It seemed like a kind of rich subcultural language that
it was
kind of made an attempt to really speak about things, and we've gotten away from that as it's become so commercialized.
It's gone, because to me, I don't even consider 99% of what's out there now, I don't even consider it to be rap or hip hop. It's certainly not the rap or hip hop that we grew up with.
I mean, there's definite exceptions. There's artists that I still listen to they're still out there and they're doing it. And you know, Aesop Rock, LP,
yep,
you know, Killer Mike, obviously, Run the Jewels.
The Run the Jewels stuff I listen to.
Redman has always been pertinent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a goat right there, and so there's still people out there, but they're definitely taking second place. You know what I mean? They're a subculture.
All of these people we're talking about are old enough to have received the benefit of a pretty decent education, whereas this rounds back to my point in this conversation is that all these kids are A, getting suckered by money, and B, already have been suckered by a bad education. They don't know the words. They haven't read the stories that would give them the ability to use their mind to create something that would be interesting. They're just regurgitating what they heard their friend do.
Right.
I could do that. It's just like metal. Everybody is trying to get the same fucking mix by listening to the same fucking bands over and over again, and there is no originality in it.
So a lot of Me Too instead of look at this new thing I came up with.
Right.
Instead of like consuming and combining things to create new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had long conversations with dudes that are hip hop artists talking about this, and they agree with me because that culture has gone so far. When it comes to the speech aspect of it, it's gone so far off track. But even just the fundamentals of it and the thought processes involved, because you put some of these guys on. I mean, Jesus Christ, you listen to the old dudes freestyle off the top of the head, and that was originally a key component of that culture.
Well, that art is still there. But it's very street level, I think.
Yeah, there's so many guys. You look at most of these more pop guys.
That's the thing.
They can't fuck with it at all.
It's rare that you're not going to see somebody that comes up in like the battle format probably cross over like that to commercial success. It's just not happening anymore.
Nope.
That's too bad.
So to go back before we wrap this up. It's the 11th. This show will be hitting on the 12th. We've got little more than a week of Trump's presidency. It's not going to end there, but what do you guys think is going to happen in the next week?
Violence. Oh, wait. To quote Clubber Lang, pain.
What's your prediction for the fight?
Pain.
Oh man.
Literally that's these next, I'm going to call it the next 2 weeks are rife with pain.
Yeah.
Because even if we make it through Biden's inauguration, because let's face it, they need to have the most plexi of all plexiglass up for this motherfucker.
I think, and I'll probably be wrong on this, but I think in the end it may have to happen at an undisclosed location.
Yep. Hidden. It doesn't need to be outside.
They'll move the event, you think?
I think they're going to have to. I think they're not going to have a choice.
So I saw that the mayor of D.C. was on the news tonight. She was talking about how they got special exceptions to go ahead and move the event. Not physically move it, but the ownership and who's running the event has been expanded, and they got special permission, I think, from I want to say FEMA. I can't remember who it is that they had to get permission to do this, but basically they have Secret Service piloting every aspect of it at this point already, which normally
I don't trust Secret Service to do this thing.
No.
But so that I knew that might be a reaction when you found out about that, Len. So I wish I had a little bit more command of those recently acquired facts, because the way she rolled it out, I saw room in there for some serious problems, and it seemed like an effort to try and get things built up physically in preparation for it, and fully committing a lot more resources than they normally put at the inauguration. And one of the things that they did was move control of it away from the Capitol Police and more into the Secret Service earlier, so that they have time to do what they need to do. And they announced that they're bringing in 15,000, I believe the number was 15,000 National Guardsmen in preparation for the inauguration. So they are physically gearing up in D.C. big time. They're fortifying, they're hardening things. And then, so that means they know something bad's happening. And then we also have the added state level kind of concern from the FBI memo that leaked today about every state being a target, capitals, courthouses of every state. And so that means every governor is probably going to be getting in their feelings and getting ready, trying to mobilize what they have for resources to try and protect and harden those targets. So we're going to be on like high alert. Now, the whole attitude and, you know, feeling surrounding all this is very anxious, and we know how law enforcement and tends to react when they're feeling a little put upon. It usually doesn't go well for people like protesters. So I wonder if this could be like the worst thing we've ever seen. Like not just bad and scary, but like real bad. Overreactions in some cities that spark rebellion in others. You know, police going a little too hard someplace and starting something, and then the crowd responding. And then word of that travels very quick in this era. Instantly even. You know, so like maybe closer to what Gary was thinking might have happened the other day. We get our worst case scenario happening now.
So my concern, based on the things that you just said, because I was unaware of this reconfiguring of ownership, is that much like Gary said, and I tried to slough off, and this is where I was definitely wrong, that there are some bad actors. This is some 24 bullshit.
Right.
That there are some moles on these teams that would be conspiring against Biden. I mean, there are people out there that are saying that there are generals and et cetera, military, and as well police officers who are all Team Trump. And if you're telling me that we're that, you know, the Secret Service, there's no way that amount of infiltration hasn't hit the fucking Secret Service either. So my concern of for the whole thing is that Biden needs like real security. They need something. They need the fucking A-team, like at this point, because like this shit has the potential to go fully sideways. And even if you're not saying Biden, Kamala Harris, God love her, I don't give a fuck one way or the other. She needs protection. Like, if you were asking me whether I would want her to be vice president, whatever, no, she's not high on my list. But she was fucking elected, so that's who's got to be in there. So she needs fucking protection right now. And if they're not protecting her right now, she's in trouble.
Well, the detail is all Treasury agents. Those are Secret Service that
right. But I'm saying if they're not actually on her side, she's still in trouble. She needs actual people that are looking out for her, not secondhand agents that are technically looking out for the current president. And I don't believe that they haven't been infiltrated at this point.
And by the way, while you guys are talking, I'm looking up, trying to find more information, and there's an article on The Onion that says DC police preemptively deploy 3 officers for Inauguration Day.
When The Onion becomes no longer satire.
I think that's the big fight that The Onion has now, that it's really hard to one up the truth right now. But in all that you guys are saying, I'm very surprised that neither one of you said the thing that's at the top of my list.
What's that?
And by the way, just to go before this, a lot of the DC leaders are telling people do not come to DC for the inauguration, period. But thinking about who's going to go to DC and thinking about what they're talking about with the protests in the States, what I'm really amazed at is that neither of you guys said what I'm about to say, and it factors into the worst case scenario. Counter protesters. How many Black Lives Matter people and how many pro-Biden people and how many other types of anti-racist, I don't want to say anti-fascist because that's a whole other thing, because we know that they're the ones that did everything. But how many of those people are going to go out there just to fight the Trump people? Because it's been talked about already. So what's going to happen? Like you saw what, like, I don't know how many people were there on Wednesday. I've heard tens of thousands, but I don't know if there was an actual number. But what if you have not just that group, but you got the opposing group, and they're all together, whether it's in Trenton or whether it's in Albany or whether it's in DC? What's going to happen when you got those two groups coming together, coming at each other, and then you've got a three-way dance because you got them, you got Trump and QAnon, you got Black Lives Matter, and you got the cops? It's going to be a nightmare.
It's a battle royale, baby.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And I don't know how bad it's going to get. It has potential to get really fucking bad. And let's face it, we underestimated the Trump crew because look at what they did on Wednesday.
They pushed through.
And I don't know, we might be underestimating Black Lives Matter also because they could have seen that shit on Wednesday and been like, yo, we got to go get these motherfuckers.
So what I'll say is that the Trump faction, we'll just call it the Trump faction because they're not necessarily Republicans, the Trump Republicans, but it does include some Republicans. Anyway, they underestimate the amount of guns that are available because they try to act like the left is ill-prepared with guns. They really don't understand the level at which firearms are widespread.
Right.
Well,
I actually invoked a ban. I had to invoke a ban on firearms in my fucking studio because enough people have dropped their gun in my fucking studio, and I'm like, yo, I don't give a shit that you have it. Don't bring it in here.
It's my house. Don't bring
There's no reason to need it in here. If there's nothing popping off, we're in a secret location, quietly alone, working. Leave it at home. Put it in your fucking car. I don't care.
Yeah, so, what are they expecting to jump off over there?
Exactly. And it's like
they're going to pull out on the sandwich dude getting their sandwich wrong?
So, and I mostly only record people that would be center or center left. There are very few right-leaning people that show up at my studio. So, if I'm having that kind of problem, I think they're underestimating just what kind of firepower they could walk into.
Right.
And I guarantee you, there are enough of them on one side that it would be a fucking war. And I don't think they're prepared for a war. They say they're prepared for a war, but based on this no-fly bullshit that they're going through right now and crying on the internet, they're not actually prepared for a war.
Well, let me throw another thing out there, by the way, which is that in the past, we've seen in a lot of the Black Lives Matter rallies and the pro-Biden rallies, it's been more of, in a lot of cases, a family crowd.
Right.
That's true.
But
they're not showing up. They're really not showing up looking for a fight.
But this time around,
it's going to be people showing up looking for a fucking fight.
People are going to be showing up looking to do work.
Yep.
You're not going to have families coming out. You're not going to have people bringing their kids. You're going to have the soldiers coming out looking to do work. So it's going to be a very different type of crowd than what they're used to dealing with on that side.
Yeah, a lot of the BLM stuff over the summer was definitely a family vibe.
Right.
You know, bring the kids, you know, pack pack some extra bottles of water. We're going to be out there all day walking. Bring your comfy shoes, an extra clean pair of socks. Mom is, organizing the deal. And we're going to carry our little signs that we made at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And then at night, it definitely took a turn after a lot of those families would go home. And, but much the same way, I think that the Trump crowd is comprised of different levels of interest. You know, you got your retired, boomer couple. They go out there probably not thinking they're going to get into some shit. They're just going to go and wave their flags and, root for their guy.
We got them, guys.
Yep. They're lying on us. We're gonna win this back. We're gonna stop the steal.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a lot of people out there looking to do work, and you're also gonna have
the family side staying home.
Some of those people, like we talked about, that are just there to cause a fucking mess.
Yep.
Mayhem.
So you're just gonna have the worst of the worst. Like, some of these people might have good intentions, but some of these people might also be there because they feel like they need to defend this country.
That is without a doubt.
But that's going to be both sides.
Right. There are people who really think that this is their hero moment of their story, that they're going to do something to stop this injustice. And unfortunately, I think people are motivated on both sides in that way.
That's a definite, and that's what I'm talking about.
That's a good point, Gary.
That's what I'm really worried about, and I think it's going to get real bad. Now, on the other side of that, unrelated to the protests, I don't know what this orange motherfucker is going to do. Because I said it when we were talking about it at the top. Everybody's being a pussy when it comes to this dude because nobody wants to kick him out. And listen, I know a lot of people don't like AOC, okay? But she's the one out there right now with the balls and the proper motivation, because she's saying, we got to get this dude out of there now, and we got to get these dudes out of there that were helping this dude all this time.
I'm with that.
Because, Len, you had mentioned to me earlier, what's her name? I forgot her name. The new representative.
Oh, the one that's
Colorado, was it?
Yeah, she's a gun toter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was...
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
She was tweeting Pelosi's location.
Right.
Which is some real underhanded shit. And she's brand new. She's rookie. But she did commercials talking about how she carries and she wants to carry into Congress. And somebody had to tell her, you
not
allowed.
You can carry in the building, but you can't carry in the main chamber. They actually had to reach out to her and tell her that. She ran a bar in Colorado that had a gun theme. So that's her whole gimmick. But she wants to be...
her whole life is a gimmick.
Miss Tough Girl.
Dude, it's that wrestling thing is coming through to politics. People are working gimmicks.
Yeah, well, she's working a gimmick, but you didn't see her pull out on nobody the other day, did you?
Nope.
No, sir, I didn't.
But then again, they're all on her side.
There she is, dry snitching on Pelosi. Like, she's here. Like, bitch, get out there and pull out and let these people know that you ain't fucking around. Because that's the other thing that kills me. All these people in Congress, like, they didn't get scared.
Oh, they did. They locked themselves in their offices.
Yeah, but then they're still on that bullshit. Like, you would think they would get off that bullshit because they saw their life flash before their eyes, but they're so far gone that they're still back in that bullshit cause.
I feel like for the first 12 hours, though, we started to see Republicans step up and start saying, you know what, this is out of control, over the line. This can't be allowed to happen. And
then
they started circling the wagons on Trump because their asses were looking at getting murdered. They were thinking about it when they were breached, and they were like, oh, shit, these people are pissed enough. They might murder us. And they punched through cops. The people carrying the Blue Lives Matter flags just punched through cops to come and talk to us. They're not right here to talk.
Yeah, but then their memory didn't last very long because then they sunk right back into that nonsense again. Because, you saw a few of them back off on challenging the votes, which I thought was good.
Sort of like their act of unity.
And then they went right back to the nonsense.
Yep.
But once again,
12 hours.
Once again, I got to put AOC over again with another thing that we talked about a while ago, Len, which is that she made a point and she said we have to remember these people that supported Trump and we have to hold them accountable. And everybody was clutching their pearls like, oh my God, it's like McCarthyism all over again. It's so terrible. I can't believe she would do that.
Nah, but she's right.
But look at how many of them started to flip-flop when shit started getting wild. And yeah, they should be held accountable. 100%. I think they should be held. What's wrong with holding them accountable? But that's the problem. There's no accountability for anything because nobody wants to hold Trump accountable for shit. Nobody wants to hold anybody accountable for anything, and that's why we have these problems.
And it's why we will continue to have these fucking problems.
Exactly.
It's not just going to go away.
And I'll put AOC over 100% because the things that she's saying have been totally on point because she was on CNN the other day talking about how there's no moving past this unless there's some accountability.
That's the key.
And
can't move forward until you can accept.
She's right on the money. And if you disagree with that, then you got to get your fucking head straight because there's no, just like what we were talking about earlier when we started the show, there's no making nice with fucking white power people.
Yeah. Nope.
There's no unity with these type of people. There's no unity with these garbage fucking people. They shouldn't even be in government, and the fact that they even got elected is an issue in itself, but that's the way some states are. But these people are making decisions for the entire country. We can't have those people up in the spot.
No.
And we need more politicians making noise because very few of these, the only Republican, and it's funny because I hate him when it comes to so many other things, but the one Republican that has held the line the entire time anti-Trump is fucking Mitt Romney.
Yeah,
isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Everybody else lined up to lick his boots. Mitt Romney was the one that from the jump, and he's never strayed off the path. And I have a lot of issues with him because of other business-related shit and finances and things like that, with a lot of the things that he does. But he's been totally on point with this. He has been anti-Trump the whole time, and he has never wavered off that path. And I give him full credit for that because he's the only one. All these other ones, especially that fuck Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Ted Cruz.
That mother.
Yo,
and I never use this phrase, never, because it's just I think it's just a silly phrase that gets overused. But if you want to talk about a cuckold, that dude is a cuckold because that Trump went after his wife, talked mad shit about his wife, and he talked shit about Trump. But then in the end, here he is lining up to shine Trump's boots with his tongue. Over and over. If you're not even loyal to your fucking wife, then what kind of man are you?
The worst kind.
Like, and listen, I say shit for jokes sometimes. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. If you married that woman and you're not loyal to her to the point of where you'll let something like that go, and you'll be like, "Thank you, sir. Can I have another?"
Yeah.
Then you're no man at all. Like, how can anybody support that dude?
Yeah. I mean, there are few things in the world that you're going to get away with on me that I'm not going to smack you in the teeth for, and that would definitely be one of them.
That's just the lowest of the low. Like, I don't forget about as a politician. I can't respect you as a man, as a human being.
Yo, let me put it this way. I would get thrown out of being a congressperson or a senator or whatever if the president of the United States said some shit about somebody that I truly cared about. We would be fighting in chambers. Like, I would just throw it all away because there are certain things that I'm just not going to accept, and that is one of them.
Yo, I would be putting my hands inside of your torso. Like my hands would be penetrating. Like I would be ripping your fucking heart out.
Yeah.
Absolutely some Kalima shit. Because there's no way in hell that I could ever live with myself if I did something like that. But that dude has no soul He's got no spine.
Him and Lindsey Graham, the two of them, are the most spineless cowards I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They just knuckle under all the time.
Lindsey Graham talking mad shit about Trump, and then in the end, here he is lining up to suck his dick.
You know who displayed some man energy, though?
Who's that?
I just read that Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots turned down the Medal of Honor, not the Medal of Honor, excuse me. That's the I'm talking about the civilian one. What's the civilian award called?
I'm laughing because
we were talking about this right
before we started.
Medal of Freedom.
I have
the Medal of Freedom.
Medal of Freedom.
Yes.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the one. Yeah. Belichick was like, nope, no thanks. Highest honor a civilian can get from the U.S. government, not from Trump. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
You know, Jim Jordan took his with a smile, that shit eater.
But that's
Trump's number one lawyer, basically, inside the congressional hearings.
All the bootlickers will happily, take theirs, but anybody with a brain is like, I can't fuck with this dude. But that's how
I've never said that before, but respect to New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I have to give him a little respect also, and
I'm not a football guy,
because when it comes to New England, I give no respect most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was somebody from the Red Sox, I wouldn't even be saying shit. Fuck him.
Fair.
I have to give him just the tiniest bit of credit. But I will mention another thing that's funny, and that just illustrates exactly what's wrong. With all this shit going on, Twitter has been purging crazy accounts. They've purged tons, because I just got an alert a little while ago from CNN that they have banned more than 70,000 accounts.
Yeah.
So what's funny is that you see some of these guys in Congress crying today that suddenly they lost a whole bunch of followers.
Their follow counts just plummeted.
And it's like, well, this is why.
You have shitty followers.
Yeah.
We only took potential terrorists off of there, but...
Yeah, you got a bunch of shitty followers and fucking Nazi bots, and now you lost them and you're crying, which just outs you as a fucking shitheel.
Mm-hmm.
So just stop. So I had to point that out, because that's pretty funny. So we are a little over 2 hours at this point, so we got to wrap this thing up. Anything else you guys have to throw in here?
Put on your fucking hard hats. Put on your fucking gas masks.
It's going to be a rough week.
It's going to be rough.
Definitely wear a mask.
Get a soft cushion to sit on, because your ass is going to be hurting by the end of this.
I will add one more thing in here, which is important, which is when we did the year-end wrap-up with Andy, we had a long discussion about comparing the rise of Trump to the rise of Hitler. And it's kind of crazy, because I've seen since I had seen that mentioned before, but since then I've seen it mentioned a lot more. And I don't know if you guys saw Arnold Schwarzenegger's tweet.
I did. I saw his whole story. It's like a 7-minute video.
Yeah, he put up a 7-minute video and basically compared what is going on right now to
what his family went through.
To what his family went through with what they call Kristallnacht, which was in 1938 when
the night of broken glass.
It was the prelude to the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And more people are kind of making this connection and seeing, because he mentioned the Proud Boys and how this was a similar...
They're the brown shirts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The parallels here are similar, and we see it more and more as time goes on, and the acceptance of it as time goes on really just brings it together even more.
Yeah.
And I just had to bring that back up again, because we're at the point now, what we're going to deal with in the next couple of weeks, I see as a real turning point, and I don't know where this is all going to go. And it's really pretty scary. Like, I know, Tony, you talked about how, every time I get a CNN alert, I get tight.
I do. Like, that feeling in your stomach.
Now what?
Yep. What's today bringing?
I just, there are so many things, and I think this impeachment thing is bullshit because I think that guy needs to get out of there now because there are plenty of things that he can do. He's proven he's not going to sit there and wait. Like people think he's going to resign. He's not going to resign.
He's not resigning.
No.
No, he's already said there's no quitting.
No, not at all.
Okay, so I watched his speech last week, and he's like, there is no giving up.
Right.
There is no concession.
Well, you're talking about the real speech, not the one that was written for him that was like a hostage.
Yeah.
Right. No. I'm talking about the one that he did on the stage before the invasion.
Because you could tell the difference between his real statements and the things that he's forced to read.
Yeah, he speaks completely differently when he's just coming off the top.
Because that other one where he was talking about,
one's rambling and one actually is direct.
Also, he's just not that good a reader. I mean, it's just not his thing.
But that's what I mean. It's obvious because he's just like
he's on the teleprompter. You can tell because he's just not that good a reader.
We denounce the violence.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. We know somebody wrote this. We know somebody wrote this for you, and somebody's got, something sticking into your back to make sure you read it. Come on. But I really don't know where this is all going to go, and I'm really nervous about it because I think we're in completely uncharted territory for this country right now. And I don't think a lot of people understand just how bad this thing last week really was. I think a lot of people still just don't recognize
time will show just how bad it was, and as well, just how horrible of a president we've had for the last 4 years. Right. Trump will go down as the absolute worst president in U.S. history.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And I just hope things don't... I hope we're wrong about all these predictions we're making. I really hope so, and I feel that way about a lot of the stuff that we said since we started this podcast. We've predicted it, but we really hope that we're off base on it.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, we haven't really been off base too much, and that is just a testament to how bad things really are right now.
Yep.
And I hope that we can get on a better path. We've been on record saying that we're no fans of Biden, and we don't expect things to suddenly get all great and sunny with him as president. But
no, that's not what we're looking for.
I think the sooner we can get out of the shadow of Trump, the better. But I don't think it's going to be very easy to do that. So we'll have to see. And with that said, we're going to wrap up. So, Tony, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks, dude.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Talking about all the stuff with us.
I really enjoy it. So,
all right. What I want to say is Tony has a depth of feelings around COVID, and we need to have Tony back on for a COVID conversation. If you're willing to come on, I think we should have a COVID conversation. Maybe in like late February when we're creeping up on the 1 year mark. Let's have a 1 year wrap up on COVID.
That sounds good.
That's crazy to even think about.
I have a pretty intense relationship with COVID.
Yeah, will you have gotten your vaccination by then?
Yes, I'm actually classified 1A in 2 states, and I still haven't gotten my vaccination yet, which is very alarming.
Well, you should have it by then, so we can discuss how you felt afterwards. Like some real frontline bullshit.
Well, I can definitely keep live tweeting, not live tweeting you, but live messaging you as I grow my third arm out of my back.
That's so funny because I was about to say that.
Yeah.
We could talk about how you're adjusting to your third eye or your third arm.
My new arm to hold my phone in position for me. Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be cool.
Awesome.
Would do.
Thanks,
again, thank you for being on, Tony.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's entertaining, and it's been for someone who's shut in, voluntarily shut in. I haven't been oppressed. I'm enjoying having you guys in my living room, in my car, wherever I happen to be. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
Really appreciate that. All right. On behalf of Len Carmichael, I am Gary Muttley. We are The Upgrade, theupgradepodcast.net for all of the social media needs and links to listen to the show in other ways. And that's it. We will see you soon. Peace.
Peace.